I've known Randy Preston for a long time. I got to work with some of his kids back at Camden Frontier Schools way back in the day, and now Randy is a head boys bowling coach at Hillsdale High School. Randy, how are you?
Doing well.
It's the second time we've had you guys in, and this has been a really successful year for your bowling team. Tell us about it.
Yes, it has. We started out the first couple seasons was a little rough, but we built a really strong program this year. We went 8-0 this season and won the LCAA tournament outright. And it's been fantastic. And I'll let Coach Stan here talk here in a few minutes about the girls program, but I'm really proud of each and every one of these boys here today.
So when you say that you went 8-0, so there were 8 league contests. You won all of those?
Yes, sir.
And then there was a tournament, and you won the tournament?
Yep, we went to a LCAA tournament, and we beat everybody by 330 pins. I mean, they didn't have much of a chance.
A total beatdown in the LCAA tournament.
Oh, yeah.
And then what was the next? Is there a step beyond that, or was that
then after that, you go to regionals, and that was held at Airport Lanes. And everybody bowled well. I mean, we came really close as a team. We finished 5th. Had a couple boys that came really close, and individuals that just come right down to the last couple games. Then we got to looking at the sheets, all the other regions. We would have placed for state finals, and 2 boys would place as a team also. So our region was the toughest one out there.
Perfect. You got a tough draw in the region,
yep.
And all things considered, a super successful year for your team. 8-0 in the league, dominated the LCAA.
Absolutely.
Nobody could hang with you at all. Individually, who kind of stood out for your guys this season?
We had quite a few guys stood out. I mean, Darian, he bowled strong all year. Austin bowled strong all year. Had a freshman come up, Donovan. He stepped up and did real well. Ryan did well. I mean, the whole team.
Where's your home lanes?
Hillside Lanes.
Hillside Lanes is the home lanes for Hornet Bowling. And how does it work for you guys? You guys practice a couple of nights a week? How does that work out?
Most of the time we practice, usually about once a week. Sometimes we'll slip in extra practice.
Do you make them run at practice?
No, but they do a lot of push-ups.
So it's push-up. Push-ups is good for bowling.
Oh, absolutely. Well, it's kind of hard to run around the bowling alley. You run people over.
So you're not doing suicides right out on the lanes. That'd be pretty slippery.
It'd be a little slick.
Probably somebody'd knock themselves out. Stan Hutchinson is the head coach on the girls' side. Stan, how are you?
Fine.
So tell us about your season.
Well, we've kind of built a good team ourselves. We lost a couple games, finished second 2 years in a row, and this year we just had a slow start. But we came on strong and won the LCAA. We were tied with 2 teams going in with 1 loss apiece in the LCAA. And when it came down to it, we just blew everybody out. We were 300 pins ahead of the closest ones. And then when we went to the regionals, we had a bad first game, had a bad second game, and then they battled back, and we just fell a little bit short. We ended up 5th. Like Randy said, if we were in a different district, we'd have been there. We had one girl going to state now, Leslie Osborne. She qualified for state, finished 3rd with an 11:07, which would actually, out of the 60 girls that are going to state, she was 6th highest.
Let's bring Leslie in right now. Leslie Osborne, who is heading on to the state bowling competition. Leslie, how are you?
I'm good.
Exciting. So you're the one person that we have here that's moving on to the final matchup, and when is that going to take place?
This Saturday.
And where?
Battle Creek.
Battle Creek.
M60.
Bowling for a state championship. How you feeling right now?
It's nerve-wracking.
So it's a little nerve-wracking.
Yeah.
What have you been doing to prepare for it?
I went up to a couple different bowling alleys, and I've been practicing the oil pattern, just getting some games in.
Okay, what does that mean?
There's a house shot that we bowl on, just like when we practice, but then at regionals and state, they have a different oil pattern that you have to adjust to.
Your ball don't. When your ball's in the oil, it won't break. It'll slide more. So they use the center of the lanes. They put more oil in for the regionals and the state, which they don't have normally.
Leslie, you just blew my mind. Got to get ready for that oil pattern. Well, good luck with that. How does one adjust to the oil pattern? You just got to practice?
Yeah. You have to,
So the ball maybe
balls.
breaks differently or something
yeah.
like that? Okay. Now, how many of these guys could you smoke at bowling?
Probably all of them.
Okay. I like that answer. That's fair. Leslie, do you do a bunch of push-ups and stuff like Coach talked about?
The girls team actually don't do push-ups.
So you found that you can bowl pretty well without doing push-ups?
Yeah.
I think that bowling, it's obviously can take a physical toll. It could be hard on your elbow or whatever. But mainly it's probably mental. I mean, just staying sharp and not getting flustered if you have a bad frame. Is that true?
Yeah, it's mostly mental. You just got to keep thinking about your next frame and not about what you've already done.
So how do you do that? I mean, how are you able to just, if you have a bad roll or whatever, how do you kind of let it go and move on?
Well, before I go up to throw my first ball, I just think in my head that I'm going to get a strike. And for regionals, I just kept thinking that this is my year to go to state.
And what did it take for you to qualify for state? So at the regional, you had to hit a certain number to make it?
You just have to be in the top 10, and there's like 85 girls.
Okay.
And I got third.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah.
So have you bowled against any of the people that you're going to have to bowl against on Saturday?
Just the 10 girls from our region that made it.
So it's going to be the best of the best from around the state.
Yes.
And do you feel that if you get hot and have a good round that you can compete with all of them?
Yeah.
That's so exciting. Leslie Osborne, make sure you let me know how she does.
Kaylee DeBow.
Yeah, bring her on over.
She finished 13th. She just barely missed.
Kaylee, say hi to everybody. Congratulations.
Hey.
So were you, did you think you were going to make it? It was right there, huh?
Yeah, I was pretty close for a while, and then it just came down to those 7 pins. It was like a spare away, so I'm only a junior. Leslie's a senior, so I'm really happy for her.
So next year you're going to take it home.
Oh, yeah, next year it's mine.
Leslie,
Sorry,
come
not
on.
sorry.
I have one more question for Leslie, and then we'll go back to the boys' side. You're out there rolling all of these bowling balls and putting up all of these numbers. Do you have any superstitions or rituals that you do before you roll to get you in the right frame of mind? Bowlers, I have some bowling friends that are very superstitious. Not you so much, though.
I don't really have superstitious. I just breathe, and I just calm down because I don't
That
want
would
to
be
get
hard
the
for
nerves
me.
to get to me.
No, I think I would be a basket case if I had to do that. With everybody watching,
Yeah.
and sometimes those big meets, there are a lot of people there watching, and the
Oh,
pressure
yeah.
is really on, especially if you know there are 85 kids and you got to be in the top 10. You can't have a lot of bad, I don't know what the terminology is, a lot of bad frames, or you're
Yeah.
not going to make it.
Yeah, you just have to go in confident.
Is there a dinner or a certain meal that you eat before you bowl, or is it different every time?
I don't really eat before I bowl.
That's smart. Darian Allwert, Big D, come on up here for a second. Darian, now, when I think about bowling, I think of big guys pounding pitchers of beer with Marlboro Red. You guys are not allowed to drink or smoke during your matches.
No.
It's a high school sport, so let's just get the dumb questions out of the way. Obviously, you wouldn't be able to do that. Darian, could you compete with Leslie Osborne?
Oh, I could kill her.
Oh! Wow. Okay, so I think we need to have a timeout with Andy Brown bowling match here between Leslie and Darian. Darian, tell me about your season.
My season personally went pretty well. I think I finished with about a 185 average. I took number 1 overall at the league conference. Out of, like 45 bowlers, shot a 650. As a team, too, we did well. We just, came into, we were down early in the season in a couple of our matches, but we fought back and we got them.
I mean, to go 8-0, you have to be kind of locked in every single time. You can't. Sometimes in sports, you have a bad night. You can't win the league and go undefeated if you have a lot of bad nights, right?
Yeah.
And you avoided those, and that's good for your team. Randy Preston, the head coach, Darian Allwert with us right now. Darian, in addition to being one of the top bowlers in the state and certainly in Hillsdale County, you're also a Hillsdale Hornets super fan. You're always there, cheering on the guys. And I think this is an easy Hornet basketball team to root for, isn't it?
I love them. I love them all.
You or JJ, a bigger Hornet fan?
Oh, I think I am.
Okay.
I think JJ's a little bigger, though.
Depends on our definition of big, I guess. Darian Allwert joining us here. When it got to that regional, obviously, you had to be in the frame of mind that you'd want to make a run at the state, too. How did that regional meet go for you?
I bowled well. I just didn't bowl good enough. Like Coach said, ours is the toughest region.
Mm-hmm.
Looking at the sheet today, we had some pictures after school, and like he said, we could have made it in any other region, but we got, the luck of the draw and got stuck in that region.
And that can be really tough. I think that if you dress for success, sometimes that carries over. And these bowling shirts that y'all are featuring are nice. I mean, I think that if you were looking that good, you could probably compete pretty well. So obviously you have those polo shirts. What's standard bowling garb? Do you wear khakis with that or jeans, or what do you wear?
Khakis and a collared shirt.
Khakis and a collared shirt. So it's all professional. Darian taking care of business. Will you wear some kind of body paint tomorrow night at White Pigeon?
We'll see.
He's thinking about it.
Districts are next week. That's when it comes out.
You want to save your bullets for the district, all the way in Bronson. We've got to go, and kind of a weird district. It's top heavy, and we're in the really tough bracket. Obviously, having to take on Mendon. If you make it to the championship game, not trying to get cocky, but you've got a great chance to win it. And then if the Hornets do win, they would play regionals at Jonesville High School. And there's nothing I know more than the fact that Hillsdale likes to go win at Jonesville, right?
Yes, sir.
So you'd have an opportunity to do that. Would you probably be in attendance for any of those regional games at Jonesville?
Possibly.
It's possible. It's possible that you'd go to it. Coach Randy Preston, Coach Stan Hutchinson, great group of kids that you have with us. What's next? Do you train in the off season? When do you start kind of ramping up for next year?
Well, we're not allowed to practice till after like November 15th and hold tryouts next year. So, but all these kids that are bowling right now, they all get out there and they bowl a lot. I mean, they bowl in some junior leagues right now, and then they'll have their own junior league program and so forth to go through Hillside Lanes.
Are there some exercises or some tips that you can give them as they go into the off season to kind of help them keep sharp and keep preparing?
To just keep mentally tough and slow down. Don't rush the line. Hit your spot and follow through. That's the biggest aspects of the game.
Stan, obviously your team had tremendous success, and I'm sure you'll accompany Leslie as she goes to the state meet. What are you going to tell her before she bowls on Saturday?
Well, I'll just try and keep her calm and make sure she reaches out with her shot and follows through, and don't try going over the top with the ball, which she has a tendency to go over the top. I'll keep her hand down. That's about it.
So
she
I coached
does the work. I just watch.
I coached football for a long time, and I'm always yelling at my players, and we're in their ear all the time. In a bowling match like this, are you able to actually talk to your kids?
You can talk to them, but I'll tell you something. You weren't coaching girls, because you yell at them and they get shook up, and it just you're done. You're done once you yell at them.
So there's some strategy involved with all of that.
Yeah,
but you might be able to have the right tone and talk to her and kind of help her along, right?
Yeah, I help her along. But her and her sister set a state record year before last in doubles. It's still there in the youth. That's a Saturday morning league, which most of these bowlers here have bowled in it. And it's a good league, too, and they're still going on. So they'll get practice in that. And then during the summer, we'll have some fundraisers. We'll have a car wash. And
Coach Chase is going to get out there pretty soon to try to do baseball. I don't know how they're going to play baseball. The one nice thing about bowling, you can do that 365 days a year. You're not dependent on the weather. And if you have the time and the ability to go do it, that's something you can practice all year round.
Yeah, you can. They have some summer leagues with adult youth that we've bowled in before. I missed it last year because I had an operation, but Randy bowled in it, and most of the kids here bowl in it.
So when these guys go to the bowling meets, this is another probably dumb question, but do they have to rent shoes, or do they already have their own shoes?
Some of them when they start for ninth grade and that, they don't have equipment, but everybody's got it now.
Does Leslie have her own equipment?
I think so.
Do they have to weigh her ball in and check her shoes and all that stuff?
If you bowl a 300 game, they'll check it. But we haven't had anybody bowl a 300 yet.
Not till this weekend.
Boom! Get some. How much does Leslie have to bowl? Like just one game, or
she'd probably have to be close to 200 average. She was close. 11.
But how many?
How many games?
Yeah.
She has to start out with 12. 6 games across 12 alleys. And the top 16 go on to head-to-head matches from there.
Do each of the alleys have the same oil pattern?
They have the same oil pattern, but the oil depends on who bowled on them, how the oil moves.
Could shift around a little bit. Why don't you guys tell us the names of everybody you brought with you tonight?
All righty, from the boys' side, I have Darian Allwart. I've got Ryan McLennan. I got Donovan Miller. And I have Austin McMillan. And I have an assistant coach here, Tyler Ritchie, who was a former bowler on our team. And one other accomplishment I want to throw out there is we also had 3 boys that finished all league first team in the LCAA. That was
cool.
Darian, Ryan, and Austin.
Congratulations, guys. Cool. Coach, who'd you bring with you?
Well, I got Brooks Roberts and Kaylee DeBow and Leslie Osborne, and all three of them were first team all league. We had 3 first team and 1 second team all league and 1 honorable mention.
Are they allowed to wear the arm harnesses or those wrist, elbow?
Yeah.
Support braces? Yeah, they can. Darian wears the arm band all the way up his.
He's
arm
got a
sleeve.
robo arm, huh?
Yeah, artificial.
Darian, I love your passion. Whenever I go to the Hornet games, I see you going hard. And one of the slogans this year for Hornet Bowling was "Bowl so hard," and I like that. That gets me fired up. You guys had a tremendous season, and now that bowling's over, obviously we're rooting for Leslie, but you can turn your attentions to a state championship for Hornet basketball.
Yes, sir.
Let's go get them. Thank you guys so much for being here. Congratulations. What a great year. And we'll all be rooting for Leslie. And make sure you pass along to us how she does so we can let everybody know.
Absolutely. I'll be sending the information here to the radio station first thing Monday morning.
Thanks a lot, guys. Congratulations, and good to have you here tonight. We'll take a
Thank
quick
you.
break.
Thank
We'll be right back with our panel talking a little Tiger baseball, a little Hornet basketball right after this.